Buzz makes it easy to track and manage adopters in one place and also helps you build a smarter adoption process from the very first click. First, you'll use your own custom adoption application, and our team will build or adjust them any way you want. In this example adoption application, you can see that the questions are organized into 5 sections, but what questions are included and how they're organized is always up to you. You can also drill down to get to the details that matter. If you have an available dog that happens to like jumping fences, you can ask about a potential adopter's yard. Do they have a fence? If yes, how high is the fence? What is it made out of? Ask whatever you need to ensure animals will remain safe in their new homes, and all the conditional logic happens behind the scenes with no coding required. Once an adopter completes the last section by answering all the questions and finally submitting it at the bottom, you'll be notified via email. Now, the adopter also receives a note acknowledging that you've received their application and lays out next steps to ensure clarity throughout the process. Not only that, but the adopter's profile is also automatically created in the backend of Buzz, so there's no need for you to enter the data yourself. Instead, everything is organized and accessible. In this example profile, you'll see that high-level information about our adopter is up top, so you won't need to hunt through applications to find important data like their contact info or preferred animal. You can also assign a reviewer from your team to manage this particular adoption application down here if you like. And of course, the answers to all your application questions live here under this half moon broken down by section. And if you find you're getting too many incomplete or off-target applications, no problem. You can easily make adjustments to fix that. For example, we can create a pre-screening form if you like, helping you filter high-quality applicants before they ever hit your team's inbox, saving you lots of time. The same thing applies for adding an application fee. We can easily build and add one for you as well, ensuring that your adoption applicants have some skin in the game before they take up the valuable time of your coordinators or volunteers. Now, once you've received those applications, it's time to vet and verify your potential adopters. Now, you'll learn a lot from reading the answers to their questions, and in Buzz, all of that information has a place. Every email, note, and update stays inside that record automatically in each profile's timeline area, and it's here that you can leave reminders or instructions for team members, send emails and attach documents, and even use templated replies to save time and keep your organization's messaging consistent. Up at the top of the adopter profile, you see we have an optional color-coded verification tool to use if you like. Now you can expand each section to keep track of important details, with green meaning this area is good to go, yellow meaning you might need more information, and red usually indicates there's some kind of problem. Buzz originally built this particular feature based on recommendations of some of our clients, and many rescues and shelters find it very useful. That said, it's totally up to you if you want to use it or not. Let's take a look at this landlord tag as an example. Now, if the applicant owned their own home, well, great. Once you verified that, you'd simply mark this green, since they wouldn't need a landlord's permission. However, if they do have a landlord, there may be building-specific rules they have to follow. So maybe there are weight restrictions or a limit on the number of pets allowed per unit. The fact is, we provide a total of 135 different points of data you can track, so you and your team will always be on the same page and clear on what more needs to be researched in order to make an approval decision. The tool was built to be flexible, so interpret the colors in a way that makes sense for your organization. For example, maybe all the tags have to be green for an approval. Or perhaps you might deny anyone with 1 red tag or anyone with 3 or more yellows. It's totally up to you. If it's helpful, use it. And if you don't want to use this optional tool, you can always just close this up by clicking over here. Based on what you learn in the applications, you can also use Buzz's internal tag system to categorize your applicants, making it easier to make good use of all the data you put in. So for example, you might end up calling a potential adopter during your vetting process and learn that she's had many dogs in the past. She's open to large breeds also because she grew up around big dogs. Well, that's great. You could tag her as an experienced adopter and also open to large breeds. This way, if you happen to receive a Great Dane, for example, and you wanted to find a list of good potential matches, you'd simply head to our reporting section on the left here in the menu, and then once you're in there, you'd filter for the terms you need. So in this case, you'd just search for large breeds, and voila, there's your list of potential matches with our friend Sandra down at the bottom. And we cover Buzz's reports section in more detail in our data video in the animal management page, but briefly, Buzz provides pre-built reports out of the box to help filter data in convenient ways. So, for example, you can scan through every applicant's preferred dog, or find a list of all your past adopters with just a click. And if you need something customized for your rescue, we also build you any custom report you want, free of charge, and those all live here in your custom reports section, which helps you avoid unnecessary busy work and results in more happy tails. In terms of actually approving adopters in the system, we keep it simple. Approvals are managed in the timeline of a person's profile down in the bottom right, and at each approval stage, you'll have the same 5 options. You can approve them. You can choose conditional approval, meaning something needs to get done before you're okay with them adopting. And this would depend on the situation, of course. So for example, maybe you discover they have a hole in their fence that needs to be fixed, so a conditional approval would be a good choice in this case. And once the fence is fixed, you can change that to approved. You also have a deny option if you don't want to approve them for whatever reason, good or bad. You can also choose do not adopt if you want to make sure this person never adopts from your organization. Finally, you can close the application, and a closed application is really a person that's basically a good candidate to adopt an animal in general, but for some reason it just didn't end up in an adoption in this case. It's worth noting that if you select Do Not Adopt, the system will flag that person so that they're placed on a Do Not Adopt list, and that's something that can be accessed from your reports section. We also have a Do Not Foster and a Do Not Volunteer option for foster or volunteer applications as well, and the reports section will collect them all on one list. This way, if they ever try to apply again using the same email, you'll be flagged and you would see Do Not Adopt, so no one in your rescue will waste time with that application. And once you've made your decision and given an adopter final approval, you're ready to connect them to their new furry family member. And that process is very easy. It's usually initiated from the animal's profile, so all you need to do is head over to Sandra's preferred dog Ginger's profile, and then simply choose her name from this drop-down list. Now only approved adopters' names would appear here, and you can see Sandra is now an option. To see how an online adoption contract and the payment works, check out our adoption video on our animal management page. And of course, if you have any questions at all or want to learn more, you can always send us a note or book a demo to chat with us anytime.